man is someone who is strong. A man is someone who fights and provides for a family. A man has muscles, and a man is courageous and charismatic.
Man would be somebody who views himself in a masculine way.
Someone who, I guess, can perform like male roles such as like the father figure, the brother.
A man would be someone who's very confident
And I guess a little cocky.
Bearded dude.
A man is somebody who has a penis.
not sensitive at all.
A man I describe as somebody who is strong, but not just like physically strong, although that does play into it.
And also emotionally strong, so someone who doesn't cry.
Not very good at describing their emotions.
Yeah, they would be very reserved, so that to me is the manliest man of all.
Physically strong, you know, a muscular guy, a tall guy.
Or pursue careers that are more physical labor.
They say that a man is like someone who knows how to do things like handiwork, but the truth is that they have to learn the same way anyone else does.
I think every man is different.
I don't really think there's any specific definition. I mean, everyone, we're people, like, doesn't really matter.
A woman is stronger than a man in respects that she is sensitive and fragile, and she has a permission to embrace these feelings that all genders, all of us, we feel. And in that permission to feel them and embrace them, she becomes stronger, in a sense, than a man is allowed to become stronger. And she carries babies, and that is the strongest ability of all.
Woman would be somebody who views herself in a feminine way.
Somebody who has a vagina.
They would perform roles that are mother, sister, aunt.
Someone who's not emotionally stable, so mood swings all over the place with the emotions and stuff.
Someone who is like more in tune with their emotions.
Their roles are more emotional.
Taking care of the household, an emotional support.
A woman is someone that is emotionally strong. She carries everything on her back. She multitasks and she cares for everyone. She's very maternal. She's a mother, whether she has children or not.
Who is unappreciated sometimes, at some points, I would say.
Women are expected to be school smart and to study and care about grades, but at the same time be ditzy enough that they still need to be taught and get common sense things explained to them.
They perform or pursue careers that are more that use more of their mental skills than physical labor.
But she is the backbone of a man. That's what I think of when I think of the womanliest woman of all. She is the backbone of a man.
From my point of view, I'm just saying that people should respect them a lot more because they are who they are. That one's harder to explain.
Someone who's quite androgynous.
Even those, I try to categorize different aspects of them in my mind as this, it makes them look female, and this makes them look male, and the combination of the two makes them look like neither. So even that isn't neither of the things, it's just both combined.
That's tough. Well, I think someone who doesn't fit into either category would be someone who chooses not to fit into either category or chooses not to buy into the stereotype of constructed gender.
They just don't believe themselves to be a man or a woman.
Someone that doesn't fit in either category is, in my dream world, everyone.
Somebody doesn't fit in either category. I think of someone maybe in transition, a transgender person going from male to female.
The people who doesn't consider themselves like a man or a woman are basing that decision on the stereotypes around them.
Someone who feels, I don't know, unique in any way. who feels like they can just stand out on their own.
Is someone that does not want to be either of those things, that feels as though they are both constraining and that they either want to be what they're told they cannot be, or they believe that they are more than what a man or a woman is.
Someone who doesn't feel that they fit into either of those roles or see themselves as functioning comfortably in either of those roles.
I also heard a great explanation today, which was kind of the freedom to do both things, and I thought that was a great example, which I'd never thought about, so thank you.
Even if someone defines themselves as male or female or none at all, you should respect their wishes, respect of who they are.
Someone who doesn't describe themselves in either category doesn't necessarily mean that they're either a boy or a girl. They just feel like they can be more free as in like do what they want to do. Like they can do things as if they're a guy and do things as if they're a girl.
Sex is what you're born with and gender is what you believe yourself. Cisgender means you are the gender given to you at birth. I think it's used mainly for marketing. If you look around in stores and stuff like that, you see that there's like price differences between female products and male products, or females, for instance, get paid less than males and stuff like that.
I would say that gender was a way of controlling people or confining people to certain modes or certain lifestyles within society to create a functional society based on a certain ideal.
The purpose of gender division is really just to have a more control over the population. I think that it's a lot easier for people to be controlled if they can identify as one of two things rather than just a multitude of different like roles, I guess, in society.
I'm not sure, actually.
No, I think being unprejudiced or unjudging towards genders in general is the solution.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I mean, I think gender neutral is another stereotype, or it's another label that has been created to sort of pigeonhole people into a certain mode of being. So no, I mean, if you're like female gender, male gender, gender neutral, they're all labels, and I just think we need to stop labeling people. I'd say that would be the solution to the problem. So I don't think that gender neutral is necessarily a solution to the issue of gender and stereotyping.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think gender neutral is the solution to gender stereotypes. I think the abolition of judgment is the solution to gender stereotypes, because most of our decisions sometimes are based on what others think of us. So if we stop judging people, so it's one way to start.
I don't think it's necessarily a solution, but I think it's a very active approach because it's definitely showing resistance to the whole categorical system that we have of, putting people into these very rigid, fitting people into these very rigid like categories. So I think it's definitely helpful.
Like I said, we can just stop stereotyping and stop pushing stereotypes onto people.
How would I combat gender stereotypes. It would be by just embracing like myself, who I am, without conforming to the stereotypes that are imposed on me or that are imposed on society.
Just like try to avoid that categorical thinking, just keeping in mind that not everyone identifies themselves as, one thing or another, that, it can be something that's very fluid depending on everyone's experience.
What I can do to abolish gender stereotypes in our society, I think is, first of all, accept somebody as they are, as they want to be. And the second one would be to keep questioning where we are as a society or as a person.
To let them know that we're all the same and that people are people no matter what.